Good evening, Spurs fans. Well, what a game! What a game, eh? I'll be brutally honest. I was watching the first half on Stan, lying in bed watching it because it was 2:30 in the morning. First half was fine, and it was great. Got to the second half and the buffering started. I don't know whether it was a Stan issue or my internet issue, which was probably my internet issue because I was watching it from my bedroom, which is a bit far away. But the first half was fine. Unfortunately, the game wasn't as fine as my internet. And the second half, it was just buffering, and I'd watch a minute and then buffer, and a minute and then a buffer. I'd turn everything off and on again, and it didn't work. So I thought, I'll just turn it off and I'll get an extra hour's sleep before work. And then when I opened the phone, I went 2-2. I went, oh my God, I missed the best part. I did watch the highlights. I have watched the highlights. Saw the 2 goals, and going by the highlights, it looks like we could probably had a good chance to steal the points, which is great. It shows a tremendous amount of fight. When the second half started and they said Romero got taken off for Sarr, I was a bit concerned. But yeah, again, like this, the second half was a bit like our games in the Champions League. We sort of, looked like we dominated them. Didn't look like Vicario had much to do in the second half. Again, I'm only going on the short highlights, so people can correct me if I was wrong. But a valuable point. Gets us that little bit closer from the dreaded R word. So that was good to see. Good to see the fight. And again, going by the highlights, looks like Simmons had another. He's stepping up to the plate, isn't he? He's really starting to show his worth, I think. And a few more games, and when he gets into full flow, and when people start to read what he's doing, which I think is one of the big issues too, is because we have had to, with injuries, we've had so many changes in our squad. It probably is difficult for these people to gel and to find the happy medium about how they all play together, because they probably haven't played a lot of games like as an 11. Like to start, it'd be interesting to see how many times we've actually had the same starting 11 for any games. Again, you could, if you wanted to sit down and nut it all out, you probably could, but I would hazard a guess that it wouldn't be very many. So it probably is a bit of a problem when you're trying to create attacking football, is if you're not aware of where you need to run for a certain player and what you need to do for a certain player. It just might not be working at the moment. But he seems to. He's got the spirit. He's definitely obviously got the skill. Just watching a couple of the passes that he put through the outside of the foot, and just quality. And I think going by from reports from people who say it was very similar to the first 6 months or 12 months for Modric. He was a smaller type player, and within he developed, and look what he turned into. He's an absolute gun, and you just hope, because he's I think quite 22 or something, or 23. Yeah, he's still got probably five or 6 years before he gets into his prime. So let's hope he stays at Tottenham and we can develop a team around him. Let's get some players. I don't know, what is the deadline day over in England today or something? Probably a lot of streams going, who knows, but again, it'll be interested FC and a couple of deadline day signings, I should imagine. Probably people we probably don't need or don't want, but it'll happen. It is what it is. So it was great. It's good to get up and open the phone and go 2-2. Not, beauty. There we go. There's that point. Still 14th, but I think West Ham lost, so that does a bit of a favour, and we're hanging in there. So we've got Man U next week. A good time for us, 10:30. So be able to actually watch all that game on the Saturday night out here. So that'd be fantastic. And we've, beat them 4 times last year, so they should be sure. They should just give us the 3 points straight away. No questions asked. Bang, there you go. And, just a small thing. As you know, I have been promoting this. This is what my son got me for Christmas. I've mentioned it a few times in a few videos, so I'll just do it again, just to let everyone know. And it's a fantastic book, a fantastic present for a Spurs fan. And if you are interested in the history of Tottenham through newspapers, I highly recommend that you have a crack at this. It's fantastic. And while he was over in London, he did do the stadium tour, and he did FaceTime me during that, which made me extremely jealous. But he did buy me this one as well, which I got today, which he posted up when he got home, which is fantastic. I absolutely love that. He's also bought me this wonderful hoodie, which I will definitely be using for my trip down to Sydney in July to watch Sydney FC and Chelsea with my dad and my son on the Chelsea game. He'll be coming up for that one, so that'll be fantastic. A fridge magnet and a keyring, which was absolutely, and a picture of him next to the trophy, which was absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Justin. Absolutely magnificent. I was absolutely gobsmacked when I opened the box today and got all that stuff. It was fantastic. And also I got that from my brother for Christmas. So yeah, so it's been I've been absolutely spoilt this sort of holiday season, Christmas and all that sort of stuff. It's been fantastic. So yeah, so me and you, they're still doing their manager bounce by the looks of it. I think we proved in the second half, just as I say, I'll put my hands up just from the highlights. So obviously I'm just going to get the good bits, but from what I've been reading on Twitter and the like, the second half was much better. The first half, I was surprised at how quiet it was, to be honest. Just watching it on the TV, it was not attractive football to watch, and that was, to be honest, from both teams. It wasn't the free flowing Manchester City that we normally have. It was two good goals, but yeah, I don't know. They're not the same, not the same side. But we were, I think, again, too defensive, and then in the second half when we had to front foot, forward thinking football, we gave it to them, and I think we proved that if our mentality is that way, we can cause some problems. And let's hope. Again, we keep saying, I do keep saying that's the blueprint. The blueprint was Super Cup. That was the blueprint. Manchester City in the first time of asking, and a couple of other games when we were sitting on third. That was the blueprint, and unfortunately, I suppose with injuries and the like, that blueprint's sort of been screwed up and thrown away, and it's been different type. Or we use that blueprint when we're 1 or 2-0 down, when we should be using that blueprint right from the start, and we can be 1 or 2-0 up. And if you're 1 or 2-0 up in the 75th minute, then do your pragmatism. But we seem to be doing it the arse about the wrong way, which is frustrating to watch. Frustrating to watch when we go down, because we need to be going forward. I suppose the last 10, 15 or half an hour of a game is the best. If we concede a couple of early goals, that last half an hour is the best time to watch, is because that's when we sort of play on the front foot. But yeah, so going by what people are saying, Romero was sick, was ill, and going by what Frank was saying, so hopefully that's not an injury, and and Dom rolled his ankle. I read somewhere, which is not good because that was his major concern injury that kept him out for 6 months was his ankle, I believe, was it? So hopefully it was his other ankle. Hope he hasn't got glass ankles. So yeah, I just wonder, in the grand scheme of things, if we've got any. I don't think we've got any players coming back for Man U. So again, this might be an opportunity to actually have the same starting lineup for a couple of games in a row. That might create a bit of a gel, bit of teamwork, and what do we say? Yeah, a bit of togetherness, so to speak. That'll make the next few weeks a bit easier to get through. I'm just so glad we got through to the final 8 of the Champions League and we miss out on that game between the either side of the Arsenal game. How good is that? That's a huge relief. So we just need to go out and smash Arsenal in 3 weeks' time. That would be good, and then have them draw a couple of games, and then have our win put Aston Villa or Man City in front. How good would that be? That would be fantastic. I don't know if that can happen. I'm not sure about the point situation. It's at 6 points, so it may happen. We might, if they lose a couple of games and Man City and Aston Villa win a couple, and then we come up to North London Derby and we give them a bit of a towel up, and they lose, and then they go and cry like little babies. Let's hope so. So yeah, all right, guys. Just thought I'd do a quick review, I guess, of the thing for half the game that I did see. Yeah, apologise that I didn't get to see the second half. But I've got 22 subscribed now, so I've got a couple more, which is fantastic. Great news. I love the opportunity that, come on here and have a bit of a gas bag. As I say, I've got my new camera, which works out really good. Unfiltered, unscripted, and unedited. So whatever comes out of the camera, bang, is what you're going to get. There'll be no fancy thing. As I was going to do, I've been trying a few things with the thumbnails, but I'm not even worried about that anymore. It's just people want to watch, they'll watch, I guess. So, all right, guys, don't forget, support the shirt, not the suit. Come on, you Spurs, and again, thank you to my son for these wonderful presents. Look at that, that's how good that winners. Yeah, winners. Come on, you Spurs, let's go.